Well, I've been haunted by standard red devils and white goats.
It's not only when these eyes are closed. Sorry, we're recording.
Yeah, we're going.
You got Marshall in the chat.
That's a good. Who is that guy again?
Listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's about 2 listeners, no pun intended, that will understand that reference.
Our
If
fans
they could
out
even
there.
hear.
All 3 of them.
Probably
Listener and his listener.
Dan and Kipes are the only 2 that are going to get that. I'd
You
be shocked.
never know. You
Fucking
never know.
subscribers we have.
You never know. Welcome back to another episode of Failure at its Finest Hour. Episode 42, fellas.
Really?
Dude, it's funny. If you look at our logo, the bones look like two asses bumping up against each other like cartoon butt cheeks.
Yeah, I'm doing
Or like a set of nuts.
doing something different tonight. Got the background as like the green screen Faith logo.
Bones got the bones. Rolling.
Dude, it ain't doing too well.
No, it's pretty. You should have worn a green shirt.
Dude.
Just my head.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I don't think I have.
Yeah, get
That'd
like
be
the
a great
ski
fucking
mask.
idea.
Just get this fucking ski mask.
Green ski mask.
But the first shout out to the YouTube. And speaking of our logo, of course we cannot show it. But we do have something in the works. Hopefully you guys have not been attached to this logo because it will be changing. I don't know how soon. I don't know if it's like a couple months. It's gonna take some time, but it's fucking sick. A couple tweaks we need to make. We do have an artist, of course, we'll shout out once we do release it. But it's fucking awesome. I'm excited. Hopefully the boys are excited. We look so fucking stupid.
Definitely got to add a couple like piles of dog shit and a couple wieners in the logo, you know.
Yeah. So how's everything going, fellas? How was your guys' weekend?
Wonderful.
Successfully avoided food poisoning. I was at a wedding.
And
What wedding was it?
What was that, Dylan?
So where was the wedding?
Wedding was in Detroit.
Detroit.
So the wedding itself was fun.
Was it in Grosse Pointe or what?
No, it was in technically like Novi. Novi, Michigan.
there.
Actually, yeah, the wedding was like in Novi, and then the reception was near Wayne State University. So, but yeah, it was all great, all fine, all dandy, except for last night. And I think one or more of the parties are listeners. But I gotta say, so we split a hotel room, a couple of queen beds, and stayed with one of Amelie's friends and her boyfriend. And that dude sucked the absolute paint off the walls.
Oh, dude,
he was sucking the light fixtures. I mean, he damn near caved the window in that thing.
No.
I got probably an hour of sleep last night. No harm, no foul. It happens. If I would have been loaded up, I had to drive, so like
your blanket was in his nose by the end of the night.
Yeah, dude, it was brutal. And so I hope he listens to this. No harm, no foul. But yeah, I just got like an hour sleep. I'd also like drank earlier in the day and then like kind of came down from all that, and it was just kind of like wide awake, and so stone cold sober,
like off the walls.
Yeah, it was just like I was just potentially gonna just drive home at like 3 a.m. because I was like, well, I'm sober, but I can't fall asleep.
People are watching my screen on YouTube.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Got the Kirkley Zoo over here.
I got fucking the cat on my left.
Yeah,
on my right.
Cat on each shoulder. Fucking horse on the couch.
Big horse on the couch. Yeah.
There's just a cow like with his head in his window eating hay.
The howler monkeys crawling all over the ceiling.
The Kirkley Zoo. That was fucking hilarious.
I
didn't even see the other cat on above your right shoulder.
Dylan's got a boa constrictor around his neck.
That's one pet that I want to get is a snake.
Of course
you want a snake?
Fucking weirdo.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
I met this guy at work. He had a handful of pythons, a spider. Was
his name Spider?
No, I forget his name, but he moved out like a year ago, and he had all he was a great fisherman too. And he's like, yeah, dude, come on in. He's like, check out this new snake I got. And he's like, this one was like $800 or something. I got it from a show, and it's like this
Holy shit,
albino,
yeah.
this, that, or the other. And I'm like, oh, he's like, you want to hold him? I'm like, oh yeah, why not? You know. And so I just very cool hobby. They do kind of, you know, they can get kind of smelly if you're not clean. But he had multiple snakes, spiders.
That is a
rad.
good way to get a fucking a warrant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Warning.
Dude.
Yeah,
He
people
wasn't.
that have snakes are just you can't trust those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be a correlation between like felonies and being a snake owner.
You know, I bet you there's
Good way to get a
statistics out
search
there.
warrant.
I bet you there's a statistic.
I don't know.
A guy that has a snake and he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I guess I just put a bad picture to like I see guys. The only times I've seen dudes with snakes around their neck, they're usually like shirtless on a sidewalk, ripping a fucking
He doesn't
heat.
do that.
Dude, remember
Monster Energy drink in
do you guys
each
remember-
back pocket.
Do you guys remember when there was the pictures floating around like outside Shamrock, Rip pouring out? There was a dude just like walking downtown Ontos with a big fucking snake around his neck.
Yeah, dude, I was
He
on
was
leave. And
shirtless, cargo shorts.
Yeah.
Like Chris literally described him.
I was sitting there, fucking like across the street from him one night in the summer, just looking at this dude. just walking
Osiris
around with a
shoes.
snake. Yeah, just wearing flotation device shoes.
You know, I
Osiris
wonder.
shoes.
I wonder if all of these like random references where we profile a snake owner, for example. I wonder if everybody that listens is just like, "Oh my gosh, that's the funniest thing. That's so true." They all drink.
Or they turned it
Monster."
off because
Or they're all
they're
just
a
like,
snake owner.
correct. Yeah, could be it.
And they have camo.
Well,
cargo
good
shorts on.
because
I just wonder if we're kind of
Bye-bye,
spot
snake
on,
owner.
or if it's just our own like inside joke
I
that
don't
is
know.
funny. The
I
fact that
don't
we
know.
can,
Dude,
like,
that's kind
Just
of
get
funny
another
you say that,
cat.
'cause the dude,
Don't get a
the
snake.
dude that has a snake definitely drinks monsters, and he definitely wears camouflage cargo shorts.
yeah,
dude, camo shorts are okay if you're wearing a Pantera t-shirt. 100% okay.
Yeah, dude, my closet used to be full of cargo shorts, man.
Dylan, if you got a snake, you have to ride around on your motorcycle with the snake around your neck. That would be sick. That would be peak. You would peak right there. You would have to die.
Get
Like,
the snake in the pocket during
Yeah.
winter weather, keep him warm.
nothing cooler will ever happen to
Like
you.
his
if you do
little
that.
goggles. His little goggles.
Aaron, anything else happen at the wedding?
Did you guys cha-cha slide real hard?
No, that was on the do not playlist. I think I sent you guys a Snapchat of the very uninterested DJ,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is hilarious. It was just all these like just out of college girls and this, that, and the other dancing to like Mr. Brightside from the Killers, and
Charlie Brown.
and this guy's like just staring off in his face.
Just fucking sandstorm for an hour and a half.
Yeah. So
That song's
But
a bang.
and I will say that it was just kind of like I feel for wedding DJs because I've done a fair amount of DJing in my life, and you know, Amelie's always tried to get me back into it. She's a wedding photographer, so she's like, "Oh, what if we did like a package deal? You get a photographer and a DJ." I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I was like, it's awesome for when you have like a young hip crowd, but then you have like the one country wedding, and they don't want to hear any rap, they don't want to hear any anything else other than country. They just want like Tim McGraw and Brooks and Dunn slow jams
Bro.
on all night, and
Wallen
and you,
just
and
made
you
a
bomb
32-song album. Just let that fucker run.
36. I got about 12
36,
songs into
holy
it.
crap.
I got a third of the way into it before I couldn't handle it anymore. It was so sprinkled with which we could go into that fully. I've got some hard opinions on that.
I already didn't even listen to it, but I'll fucking sit
I'm
here and
like
talk to
20.
you guys about
I'm
it.
like 20 something in. I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I
Not
there was
listening.
a lot of like decent
Yeah.
songs. I'll
that's
I'll
what I
say
said.
this just as like a blanket statement for me. There's not a lot of stadium country hits on that.
No.
I will say that. There's a lot of like stadium drum beat songs that the not 90s was famous for, and he did a lot of that on the previous albums, or it was just like these big heavy hitting songs that were a little softer, a little more interlude type stuff, where it's just kind of like, people would call them filler, but I'd call them interlude. It's like a lot of like kind of synth off in the background, or very washy, like lap steel playing, or very like ethereal guitar playing, where it's just kind of like a lot of reverb, and then the
Yeah.
98 Braves, just like
Yeah. No, there's a lot of
Very formulaic too.
There's no
So
like.
Oh, my bad.
What were you gonna say, Dylan?
I was just gonna ask, like, why are you saying like you need to listen to this entire album? Like, it kind of sounds like you're like, oh, I gotta listen to the whole thing.
Sorry, well, I made a point because I was driving to Detroit, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna rip this the whole way. I got 12 songs in, and I was like, all right, nothing's like really jumped out at me. So then I switched back to I don't even remember what I was listening to, but
Yeah, no, I was telling. I forgot who I was telling, but I think it might have been you guys. But it's not an album that you sit and listen through. It's like just like a background noise album. Like there's no
And like,
there's like a couple songs that are really fucking good that I really like, but there's none that are like incredible. There's a lot of like just
I
good
just can't
songs, but
stand
not
new country.
really like great.
it's
I just
taking.
can't stand new country. It's not like I just don't feel like none of
Not
it's
for me.
like I don't feel like it's not original anymore.
There's
different.
a lot of songs on that Wallen falls into the bro country kind of thing a little bit. So there's 808s, meaning there's like the electronic drums, and he's guilty of that. And I think that's just more of a commercial thing, because he doesn't write. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. He doesn't write. His first album, he wrote a good handful of stuff, but all this stuff, there's a producer named Hardy who is also a country artist, and he writes a ton of that stuff, tons and tons of it. And they just hand out songs. They write a song, and they're like, some of Morgan Wallen's biggest hits were actually going to be like a Luke Bryan thing. Hardy was debating on, should we have Luke Bryan do this or whatever, and he's getting paid regardless, so he shouldn't give a shit. But it's very interesting from a perspective of ghostwriters and songs that were written for artists.
Hardy actually has a video, I think, on YouTube of him playing, because now Hardy was like the Meghan Trainor of the country music scene. Meghan Trainor, I don't know if you guys knew, but she wrote a lot of songs for a lot of pop hits, and then she was like, you know what, fuck it, I can sing, I'm gonna do it. Same thing with Hardy. He wrote a lot of bangers, then was like, fuck it, I can sing too, so I'm just gonna start using these for myself. He actually has a YouTube video of him at one of his shows playing the songs that he wrote, and it's like 20 minutes of just songs you're like, holy fuck, he wrote that? Like, just incredible, like huge country hits.
There is the song by Florida Georgia Line, Up Down.
Oh my god, dude, they're so bad with the 808s.
Well, they if you look,
while you look that up, Aaron, I just wanted to say the shitty thing about that electronic drum beat shit. I watched a video of Wallen playing one of those songs that has the electric drums in the actual recording, with him playing with like a full band, and it's so good. Like, compared to the stupid fucking electronic drums. Like, it's like, why even do that? Like, why just fucking have some guy hitting the rim on the drum snare instead of fucking doing that electric
It probably
shit?
just saves a shit ton of time.
Yeah, studio recording is much different now. Like, in the ways of recording back in the day, where you would do like a whole live performance and record one live raw cut, and then play each part over it. That's not really a thing anymore, especially with drums. I mean, especially with these new like modulators and shit. You can make any tone you want just off of a device and downloading it.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very conducive to writing to use programs like that, but it tends to, in terms of traditional country, it kind of poo-poos the whole thing. But I'm sorry, I misspoke. The Wallen song Up Down was actually written by Hardy and CJ from Florida Georgia Line. I don't know if Wallen had, I think he might have a little bit of, I don't even know if he has a writing credit on it, but the song that I was talking about was Cruise by Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah, dude.
And that wasn't even,
that's kind of a banger.
Yeah, you can't.
That was written by one guy from Florida Georgia Line, and a guy by the name of,
let's go get this thing stuck.
a guy by the name of Chase Rice, who I've
I didn't know that.
Worked with at 20 Monroe,
Chase Rice,
and he plays that song, and on stage he gets up and he's like, hey, I wrote this song in conjunction with them. So it's hard. I mean, I love bands that write all their own shit. It's just like, that's just
I told my dad. My dad was just here. I said, you know what it is? These guys aren't doing fucking heroin and crack in the studio. That's why they're not writing their own songs.
Billy Preston when he was on the Get Back sessions. Billy Preston, am I getting that right? The key player, dude. He's just smoking and joking, jaw all fucking
I'm not
cranking
kidding.
around, shoulders
the best
going.
Music
I mean, he
that
was
you
just
can think of. The
ripping
best
it.
music you can think of. All those guys were fucking high on anything they could touch. Like the best music ever made. I mean, to me, it's the 70s.
Yeah.
But all those guys were just fucking cranked out of their minds.
Even that Leonard Skinner documentary, they talk about they would go out because the Hell House is where they rehearsed. It was on like a river or swamp. They would just there was a cow field next. The first person to the Hell House that morning, or whoever got up first, would go out and collect mushrooms from the cow patties, make a giant pot of tea, and they drink tea. And they're like, anybody got any ideas? And they would just go. And
well, shit, man, that wall's fucking melting right over there.
Yeah. I've been getting really into Leonard Skinner recently.
Dude, me too. I mean, I don't know. I guess I've always been really into him. But after I watched that documentary, you look deeper into more songs and you find a lot more music. Like the soundtrack to that fucking doc is amazing.
And it's just the fact that they had played that first album, pronounced Leonard Skinner. They had played that album for like 2 years, like touring around the local area.
Just bars.
And then by the time they got to the studio, it was all like one take. They're just like, yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
So just fucking crisp.
But enough about that.
Dude, hold on. One more thing about Leonard Skinner. So they all died in a plane, or the lead singer died in the plane crash, right?
Lead singer,
I think only one. Was it only one guy who died?
I can look it up.
No, I thought one guy survived.
Legend has it that like he was the one who died in the plane crash only because he stood up like as they're crashing, like,
ooh,
yeah.
No way.
Lead singer Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist Steve Gaines, and backup singer Cassie Gaines, as well as some of their crew. I think there was like 6 or something that died.
Oh wow, okay, so I might have it twisted with somebody else, or.
But Ronnie Van Zant is the lead singer, and his brother has actually taken over. So any Skinner show that you see now is Ronnie's brother.
They got to be old as shit.
Oh yeah, dude. But
you know what? Since this is a perfect. So speaking of music, this is perfect. I don't know how I didn't catch this earlier. So, anyways, my parents came up to Marquette this weekend. Yesterday we went to the hockey game. Go Cats, go! If you listened to the last episode, that was in my vocabulary a lot last weekend with Grand Rapids. But, they beat Bemidji State. They swept them in the quarterfinals of the CCHA tournament. Oh. Now they play Tech actually in a 1-game semifinal match up in Houghton this weekend, which is pretty sweet. But anyways, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but
I would. Fuck.
So speaking of bands, my dad was telling me, and Molly was kind of pitching it too. Marquette used to hold like pretty famous fucking bands back in the day. So I'm gonna read you guys a list and the year that this artist played in Marquette. Okay. And I have like proof of 70% of these bands that actually play, because you might be like, oh, that website is, it's bullshit. But anyways, in 2003, Counting Crows. 2001
at NMU. Does it say the venue?
Barry Events Center. Yeah, I'll let you know where too, I guess. So 2003, Counting Crows at the Barry Events. That's the hockey and basketball stadium. In 2001, Everclear, Nickelback, Volcanic at the Hedgecock Field House. 2000, Def Leppard and Joan Jett at Lakeview Arena. That's Marquette High School's hockey stadium.
What?
The Goo Goo Dolls in 1998 at the Hedgecock Field House.
That's prime Goo Goo Dolls.
1993 Fog Hat.
Oh fuck!
Fog Hat's been at every casino.
1990 Kiss. 1987 Poison.
Oh my god.
1986 the fucking Beach Boys.
Yeah, that's like
1985 Rat, Kiss again in 85, Def Leppard again in 83, 1978 REO Speedwagon and Thin Lizzy.
Dang,
isn't that crazy? I was blown away when my dad was telling me. I was like, bullshit. I looked it up and I was like, oh my god. I was like, why were they fucking coming up here? Like REO Speedwagon in 78, like I could see in like 2005 or like. Yeah, they're getting
casinos,
like
those are all casino circuit bands now. Other than
could you imagine that just like in your little school like that, and too, like
1978 Styx and Star Castle, Rush,
Rush played
in 77.
Where?
Rush in 77 at Lakeview. That's Marquette's. It holds like 3,000, I think. But Foghat again in 77.
All right.
Foghat again in 75. Foghat was a big.
Foghat will never die, dude.
So yeah, the Beach Boys, Goo Goo Dolls, Foghat, Kiss, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, Nickelback, Counting Crows, Everclear, Foghat, and Lizzie, REO Speedwagon. But I mean, and I'm talking
Nickelback
Speedwagon in like 78. You know, like
Yeah.
I was blown away by those bands playing in Marquette because now you know we get Lil Yachty every 6 years, and then
at NMU,
right? Chitty Bang.
Yeah, Chitty Bang.
Dude. No, dude, imagine what year was Nickelback and Everclear, Tone?
2000.
Dude, that was like the era of buzz cut ballads too. Like
remember Kid Rock, CDs? USA Flags?
Remember the CDs, the mixtapes that they would have the infomercials on, like buzz cuts.
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh my gosh.
It's like 3 a.m. and buzz cuts commercials are on.
Oh my god. So yeah, I was blown away at that.
That's pretty crazy.
Prime times these bands.
A lot of those bands were playing like in their prime times.
Yeah.
So Nickelback was just about to release Silver Side Up, which is in 2001. And so I don't know if
they were probably touring playing some of those songs.
Probably that was probably like the tour that I don't know.
Oh man.
Dude, that'd be fucking insane. Like you hear some of those songs for like the first time.
The night I met your mother was at a Nickelback concert, and I heard How You Reminded Me, and they debuted
it. Crazy. So that was, I guess, to top off our little music discussion. Marquette held some pretty cool.
Well, they got to start doing it more, dude.
I know.
Dude, there was there was like
Jason Mraz in 2005.
Another
one.
But fucking did Train come through as well?
Probably Jason Mraz with Train.
I didn't really look through like Theory of a Dead Man in 2009 and Hinder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now are some of these at that? What's that casino that's up there?
The Ojibwe Casino?
No, there's one that it's an Escanaba. You always see that.
Oh yeah.
That's the Island Resort.
That's the Island Resort.
Yeah, dude. 3 Days Grace is coming through next month.
Yeah, no, these are all Marquette. It was pretty
much
very events.
Go to a 3 day. I know you guys probably make fun of me, but I would 100% go to a 3 Days Grace concert.
If I was with you guys, hammered, I would.
I'd go.
Dirks Bentley 2006.
Skillet.
Yeah, Skillet in 2006.
Ooh.
All right, that's it. That's it for that.
My buddy Chris is tour manager for Skillet now on their tour. They're still selling out.
That's crazy.
Like 3 dates sold out last week. He had like 2 dates sold out in a row. Dylan, you probably remember Chris Walkowski.
Yeah.
From the Ferris days. Yeah, he's the guy.
That type of music is huge though. It's like butt rock now, like with the rap, and they like rap and do kind of like this weird beat, and then there's like a breakdown, and it's like all over the place.
Metal music. I'll say loosely metal music or hard rock music has kind of turned from what it used to be.
No. Yeah, I mean, there's still some really good fucking like quality rock bands out there. You just gotta find them. Obviously, they're not as mainstream because like people don't want to listen to that type of shit anymore, I guess.
Yeah,
Bing chilling.
I just can't get over. Like, I understand like how could you tour and make millions of dollars and like not even be writing like this shit that like you're singing isn't something you wrote.
Yeah, that's a
like
weird one.
You're just basically being paid to perform, which is like still. I mean at that point, like I would probably do it for multi-millions of dollars, but I'm just saying. How could you take like any like pride in it? Like I feel like you couldn't because it's like not your work. Like the only thing that is your work is like how you perform and like how like well you perform it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I definitely feel that, and I don't often look them up, but when I hear like a good song that's on pop radio, I'm like, man, this is actually like a good mix of rock and pop. I'll always look up the writers on it and see. I was like, okay, is this the band doing this? Because a lot of bands claim, oh, we can write pop hits all day. We just choose not to. It's like, okay, well, your pop hits are written by other people or that, or the other. So.
Yeah,
you had a band from GR in Marquette this weekend, right?
So we went to. So I don't know. It was Callan Red. That's the band name. It was
Cal in
Red. Yep. And I don't know. It was one guy. So I think, but while he was playing, I almost think that this guy is just with them and just kind of runs up there and plays a couple songs while they take a break. Because I swear at one point when this one dude is up there, he said like, "Let's give it up for Cal and Red." But the guy that was playing, he had like a digital like drum, like when you like you loop stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like it's cool when they loop it in front of you.
Right.
He didn't do that. He pre-looped everything like before the show.
Yeah, oh, really?
So he was basically just like
along to the tracks,
playing chords over like a drum beat he made and like stuff like that. And it that where we were sitting, it didn't sound very good just because of the monitors and stuff. It wasn't anything special, but I don't think that was the people that actually were playing that night. I think they were taking a break while this guy, who I don't know if like they're a friend of his, but it was totally.
Yeah, maybe they.
I was offended because he had a sheet of paper with like Uper stuff on it. So he was like, "So I went to Gustafson's on the way here, and."
Maybe he listens. Maybe he's a podcast listener, and we don't even know it.
And he's like, I stopped at Gustafson's after the bridge because again they're from Grand Rapids, and I'm assuming they've never been up here. The way he was talking, and I'm not kidding. After every song, he would be like, "So, how do you pronounce it? Is it sauna?" I was like, "All right, get this fucking guy out of here."
Yeah.
But everyone was like
trying to pander to a Uper crowd. That's a tough crowd to pander to.
Were like, people were great though. Like, they weren't like they were like, "It's sauna." And,
unplug his
mic.
They
were clapping for him and like cheering when he would like say the shit like the Uper stuff, and he was talking about pasties and like I was like, all right.
Do you say anything about the world famous mystery spot?
No, that fucker's closed in the winter, I think.
You should have told him about Graham's pasties.
Where is that? Where is that joint? The round pasties side.
Oh, that John. That's like on East Ludington Street in Escanaba.
It's in Escanaba, okay.
In Methcanaba.
So you have to drive downtown to the meth capital of the UP. It's fucking blasting.
No, that's
actually what he said that after one of the songs. He's like, "Where can I get some meth?" And everyone's like,
"Oh, really?"
Escanaba, Menominee, or Ishpeming, Methming. But so yeah, the weekend. So I have a fucking hilarious story that my dad allowed me to tell. So they came up here. And we went to the smokehouse in Harvey, which, by the way, don't let this story ruin the smokehouse because it could happen anywhere with my dad and I. So we went and ate, and this place has amazing brisket, like amazing pork. They have pulled pork sandwiches, like the burgers with like the pulled pork on it, and like just really good fucking meat. Great meat. So we went and ate there before the hockey game, and my dad got a half rack of ribs. But his side, he was like, "Yeah, can I get a salad?" And then, I'll take the beans. So
Eugene and beans.
We eat our dinner, and it was fucking delicious. And he's so funny because he was like a third of the way done, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so full," but he just kept fucking eating, and he finished the whole thing. So we go to the game, and we all made the jokes, right? Like, "Oh my god, why'd you have to get beans?" All this shit. So we're at the game. And he's doing all right, like didn't let anything go during the game. In between periods, we were like going to get more beer, and like we were walking around, and he was like crop dusting people like while we were walking around the top. And so, but nothing where we were like
dropping hot ass
in an area. Well, actually, I went and I took a shit as soon as we got to the arena because I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and I was like, no one else has to go to the bathroom. Like, no. So I was like, all right. So I went in there, had my dad hold my beer, went in. I was taking a shit, and I'm like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes into this shit, just kind of sitting there. And I will say that it was glorious because I am kind of a shy shitter when it comes to like explosive shits. And this, it was because we had
every episode
delicious. I'm sorry. So the great thing about shitting at the game was the fucking band was ripping like before the game. You couldn't hear anything, dude. I could shoot an RPG off in the bathroom. No one could hear. Dude. So I was just loving it, just letting it go. And so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden,
pig in mud.
Something goes in the next stall, and I'm like, "Oh God!" I was like, "Shit!" you know, they probably can hear, but I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. All of a sudden I hear it was my fucking dad like fake farting, and I was like, how did you know it was fucking me? Because, you know, there's a bunch of stalls. So then every time because my dad and I always do this, like we'll go in like at the Porkies. We went into the bathrooms together, like at the Lake of the Clouds, and he started like making fake farting noises. So I was going along and I was like, oh God, oh God. And like people were in there. And then when we got out of the bathroom, like people were like looking at us like, what the fuck? So I started doing that in the bathroom. He was fake farting and I was going, oh shit, oh God. So we get out, wash our hands. That's that. So anyways, after the game, we go to Ordok, see that band, see that dude, and then we found out there's another band playing at Black Rocks. We go to Black Rocks, and while we're at Ordok, though, before we leave, my dad ripped ass bad. We were sitting in a booth on the upstairs of Ordok. If you've ever been there, it's a beautiful, beautiful brewery. We're upstairs. The guy's playing. We're at a booth. There's people all around us, and all of a sudden, my mom just like, "Oh my God, go, go, go!" Because she was like in the inside of the booth. She couldn't leave right away, so she's like, "Eugene, go, go!" Because it smelled so fucking bad. So we got up and left, and my dad's just laughing his fucking ass off, and there's people all behind us. So I'm like, "Oh my God, they probably smell it. They're probably like pissed off." So we're sitting there. And all of a sudden, a new group of people come up. And since that booth is open, they went in the booth. So my dad and I are just laughing our asses off. Like, they probably got there and like, wow, an open booth? Why is there an open booth? And they probably sat down and they're like, oh my God, it smells like shit.
Scotch tape.
So anyways, we go to Black Rocks. And this is like the best part of the story. So we go to Black Rocks and we're at the bar. And there's no one else. Everyone, there's a really good band playing. So everyone was in the band area. We go to order a beer. We're in line, and I'm like looking at the beer menu, and I'm like, I'll have. And all of a sudden, I smell it, and it's the worst smelling fucking fart I've ever smelled in my life. And it's just us and the fucking cashier guy, or the bartender. And I start laughing. And I look at him, and he's like holding it in, and then as soon as I laughed at him, he just bursted out laughing. So I didn't even order my beer, and I like walk away, just like, oh my God. And the bartender guy like played it so fucking well. He goes,
oh no.
He goes, oh my God, that's eye-watering. So we're just fucking dying laughing.
Is that onion?
We're just dying, and yes. And so my dad all night, we're just like, did you guys go to the smokehouse? It was so funny. But that bartender, oh my God, that's eye-watering. It was so fucking funny. Like, you
and
know,
he just kept a straight face. He
yes,
just like,
and usually in that moment you just wouldn't say anything, and you just like kind of, you know, what can I get you guys?
Quick.
Right, just like accept that you just have shit wafting around you and it stinks. But he went right for it and was just like, that is eye-watering, and it was the funniest fucking thing ever. My dad and I were laughing for like 20 minutes straight.
Not a lot of shame in the Youper crew. Well,
and then of course Molly said it was the top.
Fucking
she kind of just over it at this point. But Molly was like, yeah, that was probably like the top 5 most embarrassed I've ever been. And my dad was like, oh, top 5? That's not too bad. Like, glad to make the list.
Now he's
glad to make the list.
Sheet.
Yeah, it was so fucking funny. Oh my gosh. So that is my
just
shit
a
story.
habitual piece of shit. Your dad is.
So I asked him. I told him after, you know, because we laughed about it like all night, and we did the same Step Brothers. Like, is that the smokehouse? Did you get the ribs and beans?
Ribs and beans, dude. He knew exactly what he was getting himself into.
I know. And it's like there were so many better sides that you could have got to, and he picked
Mac
fucking
and cheese,
rocket fuel.
He picked a cup
like
of
potato salad or potato
he
salad.
picked a cup of fucking beans.
I have the egg salad sandwich, please.
Dude,
oh my God,
I don't know if Tony was here. I made I don't know. I think he might have been here. I made egg salad sandwiches, but I made them with pickled eggs.
Holy fuck.
Man.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
It was good, but I made it through half a sandwich and I was running to the bathroom.
Oh, dude. Oh my God, that sounds horrible.
Man, pickled eggs. There's got to be a national pickling day that we're going to have to do.
Man, I don't think it's talked about enough, and I don't think people know enough about what pickled eggs really are and what they mean to Youpers.
Yeah, man. Especially because half the time they're at a bar unrefrigerated, just on the bar.
Dude,
yeah, that's not
a warm
in a
plastic
bath.
jug.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to go to the Tech Northern game next weekend in Houghton, just go to the B&B, get a 50 center.
Dude,
50 cent zinger with my fucking
hell yeah.
The dog does it too. I think it's a High Life and a pickled egg for $3.
Fucking can't beat that.
Just
Can't beat that.
fucking bar. Oh my god.
Let me get 6 of those
Dude, their
fuckers.
bathrooms up here just tore the fuck up.
Dude.
There's a bar in Grand Rapids that
Perpetually just full of shit
Just
all
like-
the time.
there's a bar.
just like beer and fucking rotten fucking hard-boiled eggs. Not hard-boiled.
Undigested pickled eggs all
Pickled
over
eggs.
the place.
There's a bar in GR that you can go and you can just order just a straight up 6-pack of Miller High Life. I haven't
That's
been
pretty
there
cool.
in years, but you just and they don't put it in a bucket. It's in the cardboard. They just hand
Nice.
you a
Wow.
little cardboard like High Life.
I'm not making
brand
fun of
thing.
the beer. I'm making fun of how they're selling fucking pickled eggs with the beer.
Yeah, and they put it in like a coffee filter.
I think it's pretty
Oh.
classy, honestly.
That's not classy.
I think it's pretty sick too. I don't know. Just
That's like
selling
some shit they
pickled
do out at the
eggs.
Roosaw or
Just
something.
singular pickled eggs. That's
I
fucking
think I
sick.
have.
Yeah.
I think I have. I went to this Amish store and picked up jalapeno pickled eggs.
It's all fun and games until the fucking bar back is an old bar whore and she's got the hands of a logger. She reaches in the fucking pickled egg jar, bare hands, big old fucking pickled egg for you. Just fucking plops it right on your fucking bar, right in front of you.
Right on a bar napkin. No, not even on a napkin. Just
Yeah.
on the bar top.
On a coaster.
Beatrice.
Oh my
That's 50 cents.
So that was my weekend. A lot of shit and a lot of hockey. A lot
Are
of
you
beer.
like back
A
on
lot
the
of good
hockey
beer,
train
too.
after being at the Griffins? Or you like
No, Molly and I went to we usually try to go to one Northern game a year.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
last
shit,
one I went
tickets
to,
are- tickets
I
are
was
like
told that
$3.
18 for the general public.
Oh, not bad.
But anywhere, 18
Not
anywhere,
bad.
like on the glass. It's good. But last time we went, I was told that was their last game of the year, and I knew that Northern like wasn't the greatest this year, so I didn't know how the CCHA tournament worked. I forgot that they like automatically get in. So then someone told me at work again, like, oh, they play, Saturday night, game 2 of the quarterfinals, and I was like, what the fuck? So I went, all right, got tickets, and it's kind of shitty. Their ticketing site got hacked online, so you couldn't buy tickets online for like
Nice.
the last couple weeks, which is pretty unfortunate timing. But just went to the ticket office, got some.
The old-fashioned way, the
Yep.
fucking normal way. Yeah.
Yep. There's all old dudes there buying tickets when I went.
They probably showed up super early too. They
Yeah.
fucking knew.
As
They were
soon
like,
as
"You gotta
they
show up
opened.
early, man."
As soon as they fucking opened. But if you guys have anything to piggyback off that, we'll get into maybe some national holidays.
Just one quick note.
Yeah.
You said the CCHA tournament?
Yeah.
Okay, because Northern is part of the GLIAC, which is Davenport, Ferris, Grand Valley, Lake Superior State, excuse me, and Michigan Tech, Purdue University Northwest, Saginaw Valley, Wayne State, and the University of Wisconsin Parkside. So what was that tournament? You said they were playing Bemidji?
Yeah, no, the CCHA is not the GLIAC. The GLIAC is I believe GLIAC is the
It's like I think it's conference, like a conference, right?
yes.
And then
Because
there's like a
the-
division underneath that?
I think the CCHA might be the entire group.
Oh,
But the GLIAC is just a subdivision of like that. Like
Okay.
the CCHA is like the NFC North. Or no, not
Correct.
the NFC North. It's the NFC, but then like
there's
the
the different-
GLIAC is like the NFC North.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just curious because I know that Ferris plays and they made some changes to the GLIAC since
Yeah,
I graduated.
There is because the Mason Cup CCHA playoffs, it was Minnesota State, Lake State,
Oh, yeah.
Northern, Bemidji State, Bowling Green, Ferris, Tech, and St. Thomas.
So Minnesota is the other end of
Yeah.
like
And Ferris plays Minnesota State, and that would be like the biggest upset in history, I think.
I just saw the while I was heading back from Detroit today, I saw the Ferris State, what I assume to be the hockey bus
The
coming
bus,
back.
yeah.
So I don't know where they played. It might have been
They
Wayne
played-
State for all I
They,
know.
no, they played Bowling Green. So
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
I was just
Kentucky.
looking. It was the day that you sent a Snapchat of you being at that game, and isn't Minnesota State the #1 ranked
Yeah, yep.
country right now for
Yep.
hockey? Yeah.
Yep.
So I remember I looked
not
at
not in the country, but in their division.
yeah,
I
because
think Minnesota is #1 in the whole country.
Because it's all considered division. GLIAC is all Division 1, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's why I should go more. It's a Division 1 sport. Like that's fucking sick. I know Northern's not the greatest.
Yeah.
Tech actually was like Tech's on a roll this year. They're like
Tech, yeah, Tech was like
18
right out of right out of the top 10.
Yeah, they're I think they're like 14th right now in the country, but that's sick. But I will say, last kind of comment on college hockey, I think it's fucking awesome that like 6 of the top 10 teams are from Minnesota. I think that's kind of sick.
Dude, it's
like Minnesota State,
you can't beat
University
like
of Minnesota,
the northern
UMD,
teams.
Minnesota has such St. Cloud State. There's so many good.
I mean, it's just like
teams.
the fucking SEC for football, bro. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
Like all the good guys, all the good players coming out of high school or wherever the fuck they're coming from want to go play for those big schools. Like
I was the governor of Minnesota.
they barely have to do any recruiting. They just fucking have people asking to come on the team.
You got like 8th graders trying out for Division 1 teams because they're so
yeah,
good.
that's what I'm saying. Like you have something like, for example, like Alabama for football. Like you think they recruit that much? Like no,
Hell no.
Like,
Guys
they don't
are,
have to do
guys,
shit.
guys are fighting to be on those teams.
Like compared to like a shitty Division 1 team. You know what I mean? Like they have to put some fucking work in.
So national
like,
holidays. Oh shit!
No, you're good.
Got that. Just want to get into some national holidays. We fumbled the bag, didn't look in advance, but what we should have done last episode was just the Reese's draft. And if we were smart and on time, I guess, I don't know the way to put it, but today, of course, Tuesday, when you're listening to this, it is National Cereal Day, of course. What are the fucking chances?
I know, it was funny because you found this out right after.
Because Karts was the reason why we did the cereal draft. He was like, oh, I think it'd be hilarious and awesome to have you guys do a cereal draft. And I was like, that's a great fucking idea. That's a great product to draft. And then I look, of course, like this past weekend, I'm just like, oh, I wonder what Tuesday, get some material, National Cereal Day. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? On the day, too, of release.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious. So maybe if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to the last episode, happy National Cereal Day. You can celebrate by going to the third half of the episode from last week and listen to Chris's very hot take first pick. Oreo O's.
Yeah.
Bro,
Non-cereal eater. Asterisk. So anyways,
I might get into cereal still though.
Today,
Don't
national.
start with Oreos.
Yeah, get like Raisin Bran Crunch or something. Cereal is actually really bad for you. All the cereals we named off, terrible.
Oh yeah, those are all terrible for you. Dude.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Maybe we'll do like a healthy cereal draft.
Kashi Go Lean.
Not to mention most of those boxes are like $8 a box. For the
yeah, no
fucking-
shit.
Everybody
Like
just
the
goes with the
smallest size.
generic, like the what is it? The Fruity Pebbles.
Dino Pebbles.
Dino Pebbles comes in
Yeah.
like a 15-pound
The bag.
Yeah.
No
Let
one's,
me
Yeah.
get that,
no
bro.
one
Those
talked
are
about
good.
that
They gotta get
either.
a fucking forklift to put it in your trunk.
Yeah, those are the Malto meal makes those.
Yeah,
I think that would have been hilarious last week if someone would have fucking pulled that out from under from a hat.
It crossed my mind.
You get a real brand name of those fucking huge like deer corn bags, dude. I'm fucking cereal.
It'd be cool to
Oh
do
my
a side by
God.
side. We gotta
Holy
we know what
shit.
we fucked up too, dude. We're fucking up all over the place. We should have done, because normally it's like the Pepsi halftime show. We should have done the Pepsi challenge on air, right? Pepsi versus Coke. See if you can tell which one's different. I feel like it's I got it in the bag. I
I
can.
I
tell.
could
do it.
easily tell the difference. 100%.
Although I will say that maybe, oh no, that'd be hard to do. We'd have to be in the same place. Maybe Aaron, we should have done this last week. Have you guys ever done the beer challenge thing where you get like that box that hides the beer? Five beers, you get the straws that go through the
I
cardboard.
thought that's what Aaron was talking
You
about.
can't. Yeah, but for Pepsi and Coke, but for
Yeah.
beer. Have you guys ever done it for beer?
No.
It is
would, though.
fucking hard. Let me tell
No,
you.
no, this is like Coors Light, Bud Light,
We
like all the
did
light beers.
in Christmas at Christmas we just did what we had. I think we had Blue Light, High Life, Bush Light, Bud Light, and a Spotted Cow was in there.
Oh,
and
jeez.
I'm
Spotted
not
Cow's
kidding
gonna be a
you.
dead
When you
giveaway.
do that, when you do like when you do that, the Blue Light literally tasted like a craft beer.
Yeah, it tastes like Spotted Cow.
I'm not
Really?
kidding. I thought it when I did because then you have the bottles in front of you and you arrange them to where you think. I had
Yeah.
Blue Light where Spotted Cow was. Like it's crazy the
Really?
flavor that Blue Light has. Yes.
Were you already wasted when you did this?
No, I was completely sober. Me, Liv,
Really?
and Luke did it. Or not Luke. Luke's not 21.
I feel like I would screw up Bush Light and Bud Light probably.
It was
Most
fucking
likely.
hard. It
Dude,
was
I
hard.
100% know the difference between Bud Light and Bush.
It
I
was
guess
hard.
I would too, but I'm just saying that would be the one I would probably. make a mistake on. The other ones are just like Miller High Life is way too.
I don't know.
Miller High Life for sure. I could tell difference. I could tell the difference between Miller Lite too, because Miller Lite has a very distinctive fucking shit taste to it.
Yeah, it tastes like
all I know
shit.
is that I'm keeping this in the bank, and that's going to be one hell of a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Next time we're all together, we're doing that.
I know. Yeah.
But we should do it with sunscreen. Like drink the sunscreen and then guess
Copper
what
tone.
SPF
Yeah, it's
level
copper
it is.
tone for sure.
That's a 75 for sure.
That's some high octane sunscreen there.
That burns. That's a 150. No doubt.
With like
makes my
whiskey.
tongue go numb.
Get really fucked up and do it with liquor.
Oh, yeah.
So
man, I'm excited for that.
Another one today is just really stupid. National Bee Herd Day.
Bee herders?
Herd.
Like herding bees?
No.
Get your voice out there.
No. What is it? Is it like a mental health thing? Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Talk about
just
your
expressing
problems?
your feelings and
Herd the bees. Yep.
So heard all those bees here on this Tuesday, March 7th, which by the way, let's clap it up. We didn't really get into it last week, but we are in March, which is very exciting because in a couple weeks, we do have daylight savings, which could be the last time we change our clocks. It's not in yet.
I thought the last time was the last.
Give it up for daylight savings.
It's not final. It's not final.
So yeah, do you have any info on that? I thought the last time. Was it fall?
No. So the last time would be this in March because what they're trying to do is give us more sunlight throughout the year.
Okay.
So they wouldn't give us less sunlight and keep that forever. They're going to keep us having more sunlight throughout the year. So I have an article up from Reuters.com.
Roto-Rooter. Nice.
A bipartisan group of 12 U.S. senators on Thursday reintroduced legislation that would make daylight savings time permanent nearly a year after the Senate voted unanimously to end clock switching. In March 2022, voted to end the twice annual changing of clocks in the United States. But the bill failed to get a vote last year in the U.S. House of Representatives because lawmakers could not agree on whether to keep standard time or permanent daylight savings time.
I say ban it.
Yeah, I mean, I do too.
Forever.
The change would help enable children to play outdoors later and reduce seasonal depression. Of course, getting us that extra sunlight. According to supporters, critics say the change would force millions of school children to go to classes in the dark for part of the year. Some sleep experts say daylight savings time makes it harder to be alert in the morning. Since 2015, about 30 states have introduced legislation to end the twice yearly changing of clocks, with some states proposing to do it only if neighboring states do the same.
It's funny that they talk
For the
about
farmers.
how it's worse for like everything, or like it's worse for kids, but it's like, no, the fucking change is what hurts. If they didn't have to worry about it, and their parents were like, oh, you're going to get 1 hour less of sleep, we're going to put you to bed, and they're like, fuck you, throwing the Nintendo Switch, like that's the problem. If you were just on a standard schedule. Chris, you're a parent. I mean, have you experienced that? I mean, you've experienced daylight savings. What was the conversation with your kids?
A change of, honestly, it's never even been talked about in this house.
Really? You just let your kids roll with it? You just wake them up whenever, don't even mention it?
No, I wake them up the same time every goddamn day for school. I mean, if you do daylight savings or whatever, you just sleep a little bit longer. They don't know the difference anyways.
You just put them to bed an hour early intentionally?
No. Like, you can't even try. You can't even do that with kids. It's not possible. It's just whenever they want to go to bed.
Now, how does that schedule work for you guys? Like, you guys are pretty good. I mean, if they start getting like staying up late, like till you're not having them up till 2 a.m.
They'll fall asleep. They don't stay up late. I mean, once you get your kids going to bed at a regular time, they usually get into a routine and are probably like they're tired by fucking 5 and they're still awake up until 8.
Just shove them full of carbs, let them piss out all that rage and energy, and then they crash, and then you're just
and they refuse to admit that they're tired. They're just like, I'm good.
I remember those days. Now I'm tired all the time.
Yep. And you're going to be even more tired come next Sunday because, of course, when the clocks change forward, everyone complains about losing an hour's sleep, but no one ever celebrates the extra hour of sunlight that we get. So if you're one of those people, you can go fuck yourself.
No, people are complaining, man.
Every year, I don't know, the last couple of years, I've been really getting after it on my Snapchat stories for daylight savings, I always be like the typical like white girl. Like, oh my God. So let's make sure like clocks are changing tomorrow. So let's make sure that, if you go to sleep an hour earlier, you're not going to be affected too much tomorrow morning. And then like on Monday morning, like when I go to work, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired from the clocks.
You just milk it. And then, but the problem is groupthink because everybody else is like, oh, I know, man. It's just terrible. I'm down.
Yeah.
So weird. I've never paid attention.
I even hate thinking about how people like actually have those conversations.
Yes. Dude, I've been out at the bar for the other way where we gain an hour.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot in college. And then couple of years, I don't think it was this year, last year.
2:59 to 2.
Yeah. And it was just like, all right, here we go.
Hour.
Yeah. It was just like, man, being at the bar for that is awesome. Because it's terrible, but it's also awesome.
That's the real
bartender's like,
downtown.
Fuck.
So yes,
as soon as it like resets to 2 a.m., fucking Motley Crue just fucking comes on.
So this will be the last episode that you hear before that change is
forever. We're done.
Goes into effect, and hopefully this will be the last time that we have to change them, and we can get that extra hour of sunlight.
Hopefully we can just stop talking about this.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it ever again.
I mean, it is fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's the humidity that gets you.
It's an antiquated law. Like it's not overly. I mean, there's some farmers that are probably like, "What the fuck are you promoting? Like, fuck this shit." But I don't know. I feel like farmers. I've seen farmers out in combines at 2 in the morning.
The farmers definitely aren't complaining. It's the people that literally doesn't fucking matter to.
Doesn't affect them. Yeah.
They go to like their 9 to 5 job and then like they just like don't like it doesn't affect them like at all.
Right.
I'm like just excited for
example, like someone that like
celebrates groundhogs,
works outside, like works outside or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody.
And I know this change doesn't really affect you at all, Dylan, because at this time of the year where you're at, it's warm.
Yeah, it's the humidity always. It's way more.
So it's like for us, I'm fucking excited for the clock to change because, this year I was not that like usually I have like the sad. But I didn't feel that this year. But it's crazy that we're already talking about it.
Sad all the time.
And then in a week it's gonna change. But I'm very excited to get that hour of sunlight. Even though I go to bed at like 7 o'clock, I don't have to get the blankets up again and the shades just to block out the sunlight when I go to bed. But
just because it's warm doesn't mean I fucking hate when it gets dark at like 5:30, dude.
Yeah, I guess it's true. It still gets dark early.
It's like I get off work, like normally around 5. And it's like already dark.
Yeah.
And it's just like mentally exhausting. Like it doesn't even fucking snow down here. I mean, it didn't this year at least, but it's just like mentally exhausting. Like going to like you basically go to work when the sun's coming up, and then like you go home and the sun's already going down.
And don't you love a guy who brags like that though? Like
it's just like fucking like
I work 60 hours a fucking week,
dude.
I saw you on Facebook.
Just after COVID, when oh, well, there's a blue check mark. Just after the pandemic, I worked at Amazon, and I'd be in at starting work at like 6 a.m. and out at 6 p.m. And it was just like,
yep. There goes your fucking vitamin D, bro.
The only sun I would see was when I walked by a certain section of the building. That's how fucking terrible Amazon is. There was one like right by the entrance. I was on like the balcony where there's these big glass windows, and that's the only time I'd see the sun. And I wouldn't stand there. I was just like, ugh.
You look
with
like
bars on it because people jump out the fucking windows.
You look like Schmeagol off of fucking Lord of the Rings.
It's just brutal, man. Going sun up till sundown, working inside. Just I don't know. There's a lot of people that do it for years and years, and they're like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm a hard ass." And it's like, yeah, you're probably fucked up. You don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Probably on fucking Quaaludes.
Probably on fucking pills, man. Working for Amazon. Sorry, I'm not talking shit to Amazon employees.
No, you should talk shit to Amazon. Amazon's
I'm not, dude. Fuck that. I want my packages on time.
For sure. Fuck Amazon.
They'll let anybody with a fucking pulse drive or work. Just like they're constantly trying to get people in there. High turnover is their thing. It's weird. But I'll never work. Hopefully never work for Amazon again.
Is that screwball good?
This episode is brought to you by. Just kidding.
Man, we
Yeah,
gotta
is
we
that
gotta
any
get
good?
one sponsor. Should we start
I
the
don't
hunt
know.
for a sponsor?
I like
Should we make a big push for a sponsor?
Screwball, but I've had this bottle for a really long time, and I figured
I would love to have some.
I think it's really good. I don't know. It's
The
very
peanut butter.
I think it tastes like shit.
Peanut butter
Really?
whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just not my I like a dry, I don't know.
Not sweet.
Yeah,
Nope.
not sweet syrupy whiskey.
Well,
Although
damn,
I
man,
do
you
like
can-
a velvety whiskey like Crown Royal's okay. Like Crown Apple. I'll make
Oh.
an exception. Or
Crown
Proof.
Apple. You can drink Crown Apple, but you can't drink peanut butter whiskey.
No, dude. I had a bottle of Screwball before, and I don't know. It just felt weird. It tasted weird.
It's something that you take like a rip of, but it's not like you just pour a glass. Like I had a glass of four roses, and
You
that's
put ice in it, and when the ice melts, it makes it not syrupy. So it's
that makes sense.
It's
I've
really
also
good
had the
on
peanut butter
ice.
and jelly shot. You get Chambord, which is a raspberry liqueur, and you do half and half with Screwball. It's a little peanut butter and jelly shot. It's good stuff. It is. I'm into it. And peanut butter jelly, when I was in the music industry, that was like the one thing. I'd come home after having all this dog shit festival food and fast food for a week long, living in a fucking camper that they gave you.
Van down by the river.
And it was just like, I just want a peanut butter and jelly that I can make myself and like a glass of chocolate milk.
You doing white bread?
Just, I'm a honey, brown berry honey wheat.
Oh, interesting.
Or honey oat. I'm sorry, honey oat.
Interesting.
That's kind of
And crunchy or creamy?
Man,
Crunchy.
I'm
Nice.
a creamy guy.
Yeah,
I grew up
same.
on Jif reduced fat, so there was more sugar added, but it was less fat, which is not any better for you. But I'm
Like
just
it
used to that like
creamy?
velvety smooth. Recently I've been on Peter Pan honey.
Oh, that just got
Peanut butter.
recalled, dude.
Shut up.
There's Ohio water in that.
Oh,
Dude,
my
yeah,
God.
those were actually
That's
Uh,
bottled and processed in
Palestine.
Ohio, dude.
peanut farm there.
So good transition though with the PB&Js, because I also have another national holiday that we can celebrate this week, and we can have
Train
a little
derailment
discussion here.
Train derailment.
Friday is National Train Derailment Day. Shut the fuck up. So Friday, March 10th, is National Pack Your Lunch Day, and so I'm hoping that we have some blue collar folks here in the listening. Sorry, too much craft beer. Hopefully, a lot of our listeners pack lunches for their work, but I wanted to have a conversation for Friday. Let's talk about our go-to lunches that we may pack, or if it involves fast food or gas station trips. But if you guys pack lunches, let's get into Chris. I know you pack a lunch.
Yeah, when I have time. Sometimes I'm a lazy fucking idiot, and like I'll get home and then I'll hang out and make dinner. I'm like, oh, I should pack lunch, and then I smoke weed and lay on the couch for like 4 hours. Wake up for work the next day, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have a lunch.
Lather, rinse, repeat, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I don't pack a lunch for my current work, but it'd be packing a breakfast. But when I used to pack lunch, I would do a turkey sandwich.
Okay.
I would do a string cheese.
Mm.
I would do a yogurt.
Whoa! What type of string cheese, bro?
Yeah. Good point.
Just the
Like,
OG
what
the
flavor cheese?
OG Mott's, or you're down
Was
with
it Mott?
the
May-
Colby Jack? It wasn't marbled.
It wasn't marbles. It wasn't. It was.
Was it white or?
It was white. Yeah, it was white.
Probably just the OG
I don't know the brand. Are you
mozzarella.
looking for brand or just the
No,
type of cheese?
No,
just
not
the
the
type
Oh
of
yeah,
cheese.
no. It was just white. So
OG,
what?
The Mutz.
OG Mott's.
Yeah,
The
Mott's.
Mutz.
Yep. And then the yogurt, and then I would do. Of course, you buy like the big fun sized bags of chips.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully not the original. Hopefully you like switch it up because you have like you get like the purple Doritos one.
The sweet
Spicy
chili.
sweet chili.
Yeah, that pack. Because you get the OG pack, you're gonna have too many fucking
Too many fucking corn
original
chips.
Lays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at
OG
the end,
Lays,
but-
Cheetos.
Yeah, Cheetos aren't bad. I like
Nacho
Cheetos.
Doritos. Or
But,
just any Doritos?
I did do bag of chips, and then when I was really 12, just like maybe like a pack of fruit snacks,
Yeah.
and that's a good fucking lunch.
Yeah, that is good.
And if
That's
I was
good.
feeling spicy, I would maybe pack 2 sandwiches or
See, yeah, that's what I do. I'm a big two to three Sammy guy.
2 to 3.
Yeah, because I have a problem with eating my lunch too early.
Mm.
So usually I'll have to pack it like 3 sandwiches so I can eat one on the way to work to fight the urge of eating my lunch, and then one for lunch, and then one after lunch around like
Oh my
3
gosh.
or like 4 on the way home. That's what I do. It's like usually I'll do like a salami ham mayo sandwich, just white bread, perfect sandwich for the fucking
Why
work.
is this? That's so weird. Like, why is a sandwich like a packed lunch staple?
I don't know, man. It's just like you
just
can.
it's so easy. I think
I
don't
try to
know.
think of like I've done
Cheap,
other things too, like
inexpensive.
pack
It's not
Tupperwares.
easy though to make a sandwich. Like it might seem easy, but like it takes a lot of
Yeah.
work to make a sandwich.
Sure. Yeah.
No,
Because you got to get all the ingredients out of the fridge. You got to put it all on the table. You got to open everything. You got to get your bread out. You got to put your bread on the table. You got to lather it all. Like it takes a long time.
Yeah.
What would be a good substitute?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I don't make sandwiches for lunch.
Bomb burritos from Holiday.
Oh, dude. I mean,
Da bomb.
I don't pack
XXL.
lunch. I come home for lunch. So
Oh.
but I normally just make a fuck ton of food for a few days and then I just eat that.
Yeah, just chicken and rice probably.
Make like a one pot kind of thing.
No,
I gotta say,
what I have been eating is just like ground beef, rice, some black beans, and I throw some onions in there and some of that taco seasoning. And it's just like,
man,
Oh yeah. Little
That's
taco
good.
bowl.
miss
and
me
I
with
make
that
I fuck
bullshit,
like
dude. That
2
sounds
pounds of
way
beef
too
in that
healthy.
shit. I put like 2 pounds of beef in there and just fucking have that for like a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While
Recently.
you're fucking like a big old piece of twisted steel and sex appeal. I'm over here eating fucking fistfuls of Wonder Bread, fucking Sunbelt granola bars.
Vienna sausages.
Hey, bro, it was your choice to have 3 kids, not mine.
I would say for me, I have a kitchen at work in the
Ooh.
clubhouse, so I just bring ingredients. I mean,
Dude,
I
that's
think
probably-
I
that's
think
probably
I've sent you
super clutch.
guys. I think I've sent you guys some snaps of me cooking, but sometimes I'll do like a crock pot thing on Sunday. I'll do a big like pork shoulder, seasoned however, and I'll just bring
Barbecue
that.
everywhere? You
bring
ever
that
like rip the
thing.
grill?
Oh yeah. We have a
I wish I
propane
could do that.
grill near the pool area that
Mm.
will rip burgers or brats or whatever.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
And then I actually have my mini propane grill that I 2-burner Coleman from like the 70s that I have in my car, and I keep
Nice.
talking to my service manager that we're gonna do it. But anyways, yeah, I just mainly it's just ingredients brought to work. I'll bring tortillas and a meat and
That's
some sauce,
fucking
maybe a couple
awesome.
herbs. But if I'm gonna pack a lunch before, like the night before, it's usually like I'm not big on sandwiches
I was like, let me
anymore.
guess a
I usually do wraps. So for
Ooh,
me,
yeah.
like if I was to like
Yep.
go, my like go to, I'm guaranteed to love it is
So sandwich and a tortilla.
like a crispy chicken wrap.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like just store bought, whatever microwavable.
You could put that on bread too. It's the same thing.
Yes, 100%. I'm down on the tortilla though. So yeah, crispy chicken, a couple slices of pepper jack, maybe some like homemade like
The ranch.
peppercorn mayo or ranch,
Oh,
lettuce,
yeah.
tomato.
Ranch.
And then to me, any wrap or sandwich always has to have chips.
Yep.
It's just like that's
Yep.
for me, that's the standard. So I'll throw in chips and then maybe an apple if I'm feeling frosty. But I usually load the sandwich or wrap up heavy with protein, so I don't.
Oh yeah.
I sandwich chips and then
Yeah.
whatever I'm drinking, whether it's Gatorade or Vernors or Fago, whatever it is. But that's not every day. I mean,
Mhm.
I think
try to
that's
mix it up.
mostly the reason I do the sandwiches actually is because the bread fills me up more. Because like I did
Yeah.
tuna wraps a couple days last week.
Yeah.
And it
Right,
was
pull
just
a
like
couple of those down, and you're still hungry.
yeah, I just scarfed and like I didn't even feel like I had any lunch.
Yeah, I've been doing pita bread recently too. Doing like sandwiches.
Pita.
I marinated and cooked chicken breast, and then it was like a full chicken breast on a pita wrap with some lettuce
Yeah,
and some sauce.
sounds-
Very
sounds
nice. Very
and just
nice.
that that you get the carb hit, you get all the protein you need, and
I guess
handful of
no.
chips and a Gatorade. But
that sounds delicious. but I guess I do have a quick lunch. There's this can of it's like basically canned chili. It's not very. Like, it doesn't look very good, but it's actually not that bad like for you either. But it's real quick. You can just microwave that real fast, and there's a fuck ton of calories in it.
Who makes that?
$6 a can. I forget who. I think Campbell's makes it.
It's a Dinty Moore.
Dude,
It's
Dinty
so
Moore
good.
beef stew. I'll rip
It's so-
Dinty Moore beef stew.
Dude,
on a regular
930
basis.
milligrams of
I was
sodium.
gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
like it's not a very good packed lunch because you have to microwave it. But like I go home every day, but like if I need a quick lunch, like 100% like
Mm-hmm.
something
do a
like that,
stew,
and
something
something
like
like that.
There's been days where I've just eaten them fuckers cold, like in the field.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
like,
can do
just
that.
get the
easy.
canned soup, just snap it open, slurp it down. You're like, whoa, that was horrible for me.
Yeah.
Chris,
Can-
I never talked about Aaron. Remember that video of Chris that he sent, and Dylan, you probably saw it, of those wieners that you had, those canned wieners.
Oh yeah,
when you're like
the hot Viennas, dude.
Buy any sausages.
oh my god, that was so nasty. It was
So
funny.
Chris has actually inspired me because I really love a simple like lunch.
Yeah,
And so like cheese,
those are big for me.
cheese crackers and like a meat source, anything meat. Like right now I have like some sort of weird like deviled ham in my pantry. I also have like a can of like spicy Spam and spicy
Nice.
Vienna sausages and
Dude,
that.
you guys
like,
are literally just giving me heartburn listening to it.
Oh,
that's so good. You get some club crackers. If you get a block of cheese, you can cut a handful of slices off of that,
Yep.
and it's just like something you have like out fishing. You just grab some stuff
Just
that's
sounds like a snack.
preservable.
That doesn't even sound like.
yeah, dude.
I have a really big appetite, so
That's true. Yeah, I mean, for me that simple thing,
Yeah,
especially
dude.
at,
I'll,
like fishing or something like
I'll
that.
I'll,
just
I'll
grab a
toss some
beer.
fucking dill pickles in a little Ziploc bag too. Get a little crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even a
Yeah.
pickled egg sometimes.
Oh,
But
those like simple, like cold, no work involved other than like maybe slicing cheese.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's like the best. Or I'll do like if I'm at home for lunch, I'll do like a fried bologna sandwich. Just get a
Shit.
Kraft slice on there, some thinly sliced lettuce, toasted bread. So good, so filling. Just for cheap too, man. It's like 90 cents a meal.
Mm-hmm.
2 slices of bread and some bologna.
Oh, dude.
It's all about cooking though. I try to cook as much as I can, even at work. Because
I'm gonna get a jet boil. I think.
Just make a shit ton of leftovers, especially if you're
Yeah.
fucking single.
I do like the one pot. I made a stuffed pepper thing recently. It's like, you take ground beef and rice, brown off the ground beef, throw the rice in. I do the microwavable packs because they already have seasoning in them. They're like a couple bucks a pop. Throw 2 of them in there, and then take up my wok and fry like 6 bell peppers, not like cut into like, 1 by 1 whatever squares, and fry those off, blister them, throw those in there. A little bit of cheese, and then you can scoop out of that all day. That's super filling with all that rice in there.
Mm.
That sounds good.
Black beans if you're feeling frosty. But
Make it.
oh yeah, sits on your stomach like a sack of quarters, just
Oh,
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, the rest of
Oh.
the day you're just sweating. You're just sweating it out. You're just-
I had
It's good
that.
though.
Yeah, we're probably running pretty late here, but I did have a donut that like rocked my fucking world a week ago, and it just sat in the bottom of my gut for like 2 hours, and I was just so hot and tired, like sweating, just like. Ugh.
Was it a big donut,
Oh.
like a big fritter or what?
Yeah, it was a big bear claw, big old fucking.
That might be the top 5 like worst feelings of all time. When
Oh,
someone
I know,
gets
I know-
stuck like that.
It's so
You
funny.
can't get it out of you either. You're
Oh
sitting
my
on the
God.
toilet. Like,
feel like you
fuck.
gotta eat like 10 stalks of celery just to keep stuff moving.
Oh fuck,
celery
that's a
or
good idea.
Bag
Celery.
of, just ate a bag of fucking concrete mix. Just stuck right in your goddamn stomach. Literally the worst feeling ever. You feel like you have to shit, you can't.
That's
Flush
like
a bag
actually
of dog food down a toilet.
That's like actually when I was at the wedding, people they had this marinated chicken breast in the sauce. They had like shrimp pasta,
Ooh.
potatoes, and asparagus, and like a salad. And I sat down with 2 chicken breasts, salad, and asparagus, and like, you don't want the rolls? Wedding rolls are the best. What about these potatoes? And I was like, look, if I'm about to cut a rug on the dance floor, you think all I want is bread? I was like, absolutely not. That and you're drinking, if you got a wedding or anywhere you're going as top shelf, you don't want to water that down. You want to feel something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the carbs, man. Carbs are brutal.
You got to eat as much as you can at a wedding and then go dance as hard as you can and ensure that you projectile vomit as far and as hard as you can all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
Chris, have your kids ever thrown up in public before?
Yes.
Because we're at the game and Molly and I were walking in and there was a couple that had 3 kids that were, youngest was probably 4. And for one, we were like, I'm sure when we have kids, we'll probably bring them to games. But I was just thinking, like, I would be so scared to bring my kids into an environment like that where there's somebody, like a foot away from them. Like, when you're sitting behind somebody, like, they have too many fucking gummy worms or, whatever at the game. And they just projectile vomit onto someone like right in front of them. Like, that's going to be my worst nightmare.
Oh, dude, I watched my little cousin do that at a game.
In a game like that, when they're just right behind you, just come at any moment too.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have fucking gummy worms or candy, they could just randomly just throw up like all over somebody.
Kids, like, they'll just be like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're just standing there. Like, they won't tell you, like, oh, I'm sick. They'll just be standing there, just fucking throw up. It's funny that you
all right, enough puke talk.
Projectile vomiting. So this was in the news. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I read the story a little more, and there was a Russian COVID vaccine creator, which Blue Bar.
Yeah, just blue bars. That
was found strangled to death in his apartment. Now, at first, of course, everyone like just speculates like, oh my god, like, why did he why, oh my god, he was a schmovid creator, vaccine creator, like the government, Russian government, all this shit. But I don't know. This is a weird story. So let me read this a little bit. Botovic, who worked as a senior researcher at the Gamaleya National Research Center for Ecology and Mathematics, was found dead in his apartment on Thursday. His death is being investigated as a murder, the committee said, blah, blah, blah. According to the investigation on March 2nd, 2023, in an apartment building located in Rogova Street in Moscow, a 29-year-old young man, during an argument, strangled the 47-year-old owner of the apartment with a belt and fled the scene. A suspect was arrested shortly after Botovikov's body was found. The Federal Investigative Agency said in the statement, in the shortest possible time, the location of the attacker was established. During the interrogation, he admitted his guilt. He was charged. Russian media has identified the suspect as Alexei Z, a former convict who spent 10 years in prison on charges of providing sex services. Local media reports, including from Russia's MASH outlet, said that the incident appeared to have been the result of a money dispute between the scientist and the suspect.
The gay hooker?
The body of the 48-year-old man was found with strangulation marks. Several stab wounds and abrasions were found on his body. Botovic was one of the 18 scientists who developed the Sputnik V, or the 5th maybe, vaccine in 2020. According to the Moscow Times, Russian President Vladimir Putin had honored the virologist with the Order of Merit for the Fatherland Award for his COVID work in 2021. So then I was thinking, okay, this guy's a Russian scientist. Did you guys see that one of Putin's like assistants yeeted off a fucking building like a couple months ago? Yeah, quotations. Did you guys see that?
No.
They called him Splatimir.
No.
It was a girl. It was a chick. It's called her Splatimir. Splatimis. But
Splatus.
so I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, to speculate, because Americans obviously are like, oh my god, like, Fauci had him, but it's like Russian stuff, right? So then I was thinking like Putin, maybe, if there's any speculation, it's like, is this another one of Putin's suicides? But obviously it's not a suicide.
It's really,
or just coincidence.
I personally believe, I'll throw this out there. If you're in Russia doing anything and you're prominent news attention, you are liable to be offed by Putin.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's such a like a it's just, you're just set up for failure. If you make too much noise in the wrong way, or the dictator can spin it one way or the other, you are liable to be offed by anybody.
Get thrown out of a 20-story building.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better
Get
watch your mouth.
strangled
Fucking
with a
Russian.
belt.
I just and maybe I'm just, I'm not a humanitarian and I'm not sympathizing with Russia enough, but their shit's so fucked up over there and they're so just directed. It's just, I don't know. I just wouldn't. I mean, even when the whole Ukraine thing popped off, there were a ton of Russians that were just like, no, and they're out in the street like, absolutely no, this is who we are as a country, and I don't know what happened to all those people, but I wouldn't be speaking up like they were.
No,
because he'll find any reason. I believe it. I mean, it's just like, I don't think we have any Russians that listen to this. If you are Russian, hit us up and we'll give you the drone strike coordinates. And
Hit that line. Hit my line.
Bliet.
I was gonna the other so speaking of like kind of this stuff, this happened I think 2 weeks ago, so it is a little old. You might have heard about it, but the oh my god, this article I can't close out of the Clinton aide guy that was tied around a tree with like a electrical cord,
the VCR,
like gunshot
cable or some shit. Rule of suicide.
And he had ties with Epstein. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
You'd briefly told us about it.
I don't know. It seems like this stuff's gonna keep happening more and more with these people.
Yeah. The
Pretty
mysterious death of an aide to President Bill Clinton with ties to Jeffrey Epstein was officially ruled a suicide, despite there being no sign of a weapon near the body.
Stephen Hoffenberg.
Mark Middleton, 50, who served in the Clinton White House in the 1990s, was found dead on Heifer Ranch in Perryville, Arkansas, May 2nd, 2022. So this shit happened a long time ago, and it's just hitting us right now, which is crazy.
That's typical.
Almost 1 year after Middleton's death, a police report obtained by the outlet this week revealed that the Little Rock businessman was discovered with a gunshot wound to the chest and an extension cord tying his neck to a tree. I could see the male was obviously deceased, deputy said. On his arrival. Notably, Lawson's account includes that while officers located a gun case and 3 boxes of buckshot in Middleton's BMW SUV, there was no weapon in sight.
Weird.
Though the father of 2 worked for his family's HVAC business in the years before his death, he previously enjoyed a high-flying lifestyle as special advisor to Clinton and assistant to Chief of Staff Thomas F. McGlarty. I mean, there's nothing to say about it, but it's just very fishy. And I figured that was a good tie-in with this Russian schmovid creator.
They're all corrupt. So
shit's finally getting to us that some things may not be as they seem. And another Clinton aide has died mysteriously that had ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
I'm sure it'll be in another 10 years. There'll be a huge expose and a documentary, and everybody that has followed it will have forgotten about it, and then it'll come out, and then in episode 150 of this podcast, be like, holy shit! No, it'll be more.
Yeah, Epstein's client list finally got out.
Yeah. I mean, like, you really think that that's the only place that has shit like that, like Epstein's Island? Like, there's another fucking Epstein Island somewhere.
There's probably multiple.
That,
I think there's probably some that can be revealed.
Oh yeah,
with Epstein,
probably.
Because you got to think if he had, this is a huge, if the Clintons had like a island or something that no one knew about, like I'm sure somewhere in Epstein's investigation they can find information that leads to other people that have islands similar to that. And I don't know. I think. Because did you guys see Jimmy Kimmel, that clip of him? Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee's show, and he was talking about how the client, that list, the flight log and the list of Epstein, it's going to like expose everybody. I guess Rodgers said that that's coming out soon. And Rodgers brought that up on the Pat McAfee show. And then Jimmy Kimmel made fun of Rodgers on his night show. That was like his opening monologue. He was like, oh, I don't know if you saw Aaron Rodgers talking to Pat McAfee. He was speaking about the client list of Epstein that it's coming out soon or whatever. And he was making fun of Rodgers like, oh, I forgot before I listened to his interview, I forgot to put my tinfoil hat on or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, Rogers maybe has taken too many concussions in his career," and like people were like, "Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's probably on that list." He's like, he's probably fucking pissed at him because he's probably like, hey, chill. So I thought that was funny too. But I wonder if that ever is going to get released.
I don't know about.
I mean, it's been so long. Like, why hasn't that?
Because there's a lot of people, basically.
I know, powerful and important people that are on.
There's like literally people that are stopping it.
And even before this, in which we could do it way too deep of a dive on this, but there was a pedophilia ring on North Fox Island in Lake Michigan, which is literally, when I went to Beaver Island and backpacked with my buddy, on a clear day, you can see North Fox Island, and it's privately owned. And that was the thing that happened here in Michigan that came out before Pizzagate and Epstein's Island. This was literally here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a distribution thing that was like a little like a boys camp.
Do you know who ran that?
Run by Frank Sheldon is his name. They filmed child pornography all over America and sent it via email, but boys were recruited at Boy Scouts and other camps. He was a prominent man, wealthy family. Other family members weren't convicted or spent a minimal time in jail because this is all via some random blog, but it is a real thing that happened.
Dead too. Someone killed him.
I don't know.
Probably. Or if they caught him and brought him to prison, he probably got killed right away in jail.
Yeah, he probably got.
What about the? Didn't you guys have that? Who's that fucking dude? That lawyer that just got chopped. Yeah,
Murdoch.
I have fucking no idea about any of that.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of the documentaries or the Netflix shit.
He
just watched his sentencing.
I don't know everything about it, but he basically, long story short, he called 911. Fucking cop showed up. His fucking wife and his fucking son was dead. Someone shot him. They found out after a long investigation that he fucking killed him.
Yeah,
he was lying the entire time, like, had all these like alibis and shit, and like he had this big story, and like he's still denying it, like he's still saying like he didn't do it.
He just got convicted. Like,
he just got convicted.
Early
2 life sentences. Yeah.
So
I know like the whole like their family is very well known and like in the law and stuff, and like they had for a long time like his grandpa or something. He had a big influence on.
They started the Murdoch like law practice. Whatever the official
and
name
like
was.
when they would get in trouble, they would just get out of it right away because of who they were. But
yeah,
so
they made other
thought
people
that he could get away with it.
Yeah, he also like pulled out an insurance claim on like a maid that they had or somebody that was helping watch.
Maid got killed in his house, and they said
and
it was from
she fell down the stairs and got ran over.
He was the one that facilitated purchasing of a life insurance, like a massive life insurance policy, and then she like died like a month later.
Yeah,
and then
his son
supposedly collected on it. So
his son Paul, who's still alive, also got tied up in with this other dude. Was like having like gay relations, and it was like this big thing because it's a southern town, and I guess they made that guy. That guy was found dead too.
Oh my gosh! Oh, so it's not just the wife and son that have died.
No, there's a bunch of murders surrounding it. The Netflix documentary. It's kind of like all these murder is hot right now. Like murder shows and shit about all of these old murders and current ones. Obviously, the making a murderer thing in Wisconsin kind of pioneered it. I feel like in the mainstream, but now.
I think people just like to see how fucked up people can be.
Yeah,
it's always interesting to hear those like stories that are just like crazy.
Yeah, it's become like a trend in American culture, and we're just horrifically desensitized to everything that happens. But this documentary is pretty straightforward. Like there is a lot of like fuck ups by the local authorities, which could have been biased because he's a prominent and powerful figure, or they could have just been blithering idiots, which I believe both to be 100% true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of a straightforward Netflix. I watched it with my roommates, and it was kind of a straightforward kind of shot. It was just like, oh, what happened here? And it's like pretty clear that he did it. And then this happened during 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
And now it's the start of 2023, and they just put him away for life.
Canned
There's
him,
all these
yeah.
phone calls to like between him and his son who's still alive, Buster, and it was just like, oh yeah, did you hear they're trying to pin this on me? Did you take care of this? And it was just like, are you fucking
Buster.
idiot? They record all prison phone calls. You're like
Yeah,
trying to like weasel your way out of this. So, but
That's
Buster
fucking
got busted in.
That's
Dude,
a-
I called him Paul because I was thinking of Paul Pelosi for some reason.
yeah, Buster.
Buster
But,
Douglas.
Anyways,
Well, he's got the family fortune now, so
blowing it in Vegas.
yeah.
Oh, what do you say, buddy?
yeah, show it to the YouTube. Dylan, were you holding a Nerf gun?
Yes, I was.
Let's see that fucker.
I
Nice,
fucking-
dude.
I-
Nice little piece.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you gotta stay strapped, dude.
That's like the little one off of Men in Black. What do
This
they call
thing's
that
fucking
one?
The
pretty
cricket.
accurate.
My son's got that thing. That thing rips.
No, I don't intentionally shoot my animals, but if my cat's meowing, I'll shoot it like towards them and like scare them off.
Nice. Should put some ricin in it. A little,
Okay.
little cyanide dart.
Yeah, fucking cat killer over here.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
Chris.
I know you guys think I hate cats. I don't hate cats. I'm reformed.
All right, well, we gonna
Yeah,
play
I'm
some
tired.
fucking
boys.
some Keno or what?
Yeah, let's Keno it.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Let's
all right.
keen on
So we
that.
do have a drawing going right now, but I feel like this would be a good opportunity to advertise Screwball Whiskey. Just kidding. No, but honestly, the subscription based episodes, yes, there's not a new one yet, but I'm probably talking to people that aren't subscribed yet, so you are missing out still on 2 episodes. Still a work in progress. $1 a month, fucking $12 a year. You got that in quarters right now in your fucking middle console in your car. Hopefully the boys get dialed here and we can create more stuff, come up with more ideas, but the ideas are flowing. So if you're on Spotify or Apple, you'll see episodes with like locks on them. You just click on that and it should give you take you to our Anchor page and you can subscribe that way. But maybe I'll throw the trailer on in the beginning of this episode. Well, I guess you already would have heard it, so that was terrible podcasting. But we do have a minute from this drawing, so I suppose I can share my screen and
Pull it up.
we can
Let's pick a
fucking get her
number.
going, boys.
Ooh, man, what did I pick last time?
But you picked 27 last time.
I'm going 33. 30. I'm locked in at 33.
I'm taking third. No, I'm taking 23.
37.
33,
Right.
20, 23, 37. What do you got, Tony?
Dylan, you said 23?
37.
Okay.
37.
Chris said 23.
Oh, sorry.
I'm at 33.
Fuck. I'll go 60. I'll just
Rolling 60 again.
I'll add Dylan and Chris. Did I do again?
I'm saying 60 is 60.
Oh,
is-
it got
is what was
picked?
last round.
Oh, that's okay. It'll get
Yeah.
picked again. So we have 10 seconds till the drawing for you non-YouTube watchers. Shout out to the YouTube. See Chris's new glasses. My Cuban cocaine glasses that I've worn before. And a new background today. Which of course, we do have a new logo
It works.
In the works.
in the works, baby.
Chris, you fucking alive there, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Weekend at Bernie's.
10 times. Oh, it's always-
2x. I was gonna say
always-
if 10 times we gotta make something special. 5, 27.
Four.
Oh, 60.
Oh
Let's
my
fucking
gosh,
go.
you're gonna
Third
split. You're gonna
number.
split. You will
Third
split.
number. 66, 19, 49, 45, 72. Oh no.
I cannot believe you doubled up on a number.
22,
Oh, come on.
53,
Kidding me.
Unbelievable.
That's
37, Dylan.
Oh.
Dylan splits.
Dylan, 76.
We got 23 and 33 for a
15.
three-way or a four-way split.
40.
It's gotta be almost over.
23.
Oh my gosh,
Chris!
four-way split.
33. Come on.
in.
For the 4-way for the first time ever. 33. Come on.
Oh,
No. Come on.
Oh,
I think that was the last
that's
one.
it. Yeah.
Fuck.
Damn.
I never thought of that. All four of us
Three-
winning. That would be fucking sweet.
Three-way
Almost
split.
So we had
Man,
60, 23, and 37
lost?
on the
I'm
board.
the only one that lost.
Who lost?
So Aaron has to eat the cookie at the end of the bukkake.
no, the
All
soggy
right.
waffle.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour. Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
God damn it, Aaron. You're fucking
Go ahead.
delayed, dude. It's pissing me
Just
off.
restart the whole thing.
It's pissing
Just
me
restart
off.
the whole thing.
You're not talking, so I go to talk.
Get off.
And
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
You got a tonsil stone, dude?
Dude, don't. He's not talking about this.
So I ain't talking about it, dude. We ain't going to the
Fucking
stones.
Chris.
We ain't getting stoned tonight.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
Oh man, when you're 8 beers in and someone pulls out pickled eggs.
Yeah, forget it, dude. minimum a 6-pack of eggs.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour.
Cousin subs, which is so good.
Oh.
Which I don't know if they were started.
Out of you and Trout Crick.
Thanks for listening to Failure at its Finest Hour. Thanks for listening, you beautiful son of a